What's the first thing you do when you get out of bed in the morning? Thank you for always letting us into your living rooms, kitchen, and bedrooms. We are beyond excited to always bring living the life your way. Abigail and I will be taking you through an interesting show today.
Thanks, Rolly. Wow, it's an exciting show. Like I tell you, this show cuts across all areas of life, showing you how to live life God's way.
Like I asked earlier, Abigail, what's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
I'm not sure why you're throwing this question back
you
at
have
me.
to answer. I asked you first.
Okay, I'm sure the answer you'd like to hear is, oh, the first thing I do is I get out of bed and I pray, and yes,
pray.
I'm sure I do that like maybe more of the time than not.
Okay.
But you know, sometimes there's the temptation of reaching out for your phone. And checking who sent you a message on WhatsApp or BlackBerry
the bad part
or
of technology.
Yes.
I tell you, because it's supposed to enhance our lives. Yes. Okay. For me, anyway, I would say I have this app, the Bible app, where I get to listen to my audio Bible. So it kind of it's good technology in a way, because yes, I listen to my Bible, like I listen literally, because I prefer to listen sometimes. Okay, maybe when I'm not reading the hard copy and all of that, but truly it's not always as easy as we have technology. So if I want to read my Bible, it's time
just grab my phone.
You know, there's always that temptation. Okay, what's happening? WhatsApp, you hear the things,
yes,
ringing, and you're like, oh my God,
or
what do I do?
If you're connected to Wi-Fi, immediately you want to check out what's online. Then there's Facebook, and then there's Twitter. And personally, I just think the first thing, this is ideal for me, is actually give God the first couple of hours or minutes of your day, because you see, once you get distracted by the obvious things, your phone, and then we can convince ourselves that what we want to do with the phone at that point in time is very important. It's not always that important, no. But if you can just get over that and say the first couple of hours, the first couple of minutes, they belong to, and you dedicate it, and then you find that you will be committed to it.
It's like discipline. I think discipline.
That's the buzzword. That's the key word.
Yeah. Because if you don't tell yourself, hey, God is expecting me at this moment, so I should be prepared. I should be ready to come into His presence. Like, this is all I need to do at this time. WhatsApp or no WhatsApp, Twitter, whatever is happening.
I mean, how did we survive before?
Ask me.
WhatsApp and all these things. They just came and they just took over our lives.
And there's no time again. We don't have. It's like, God, wait. That's what it sounds like. I think God is really
it's rude, isn't it?
Really rude. Like, God, wait. I need to see what. Okay, my colleague is sending this. This message.
You know the one that's really bad. You know the one that's really bad is then you are there in the place of prayer and you're like you're speaking in tongues and everything, and then you're reaching out for your phone and you're still speaking in tongues and you're scrolling through that is just so wrong. I mean, if you were standing in front of a president of some nation, would you try that?
Would you do that?
We just take all these things for granted.
And the most annoying part, okay, is in church. You're in church, like worship is going on. I mean, everyone is like focused, like listening to the Spirit, like worshiping and all of that. And you see, like a full-blown adult will take their phones and starts ringing, or the iPad, and they just walk out audaciously. They just walk out, and they want to pick that call. I'm like, sometimes I ask myself, what is going through God's mind at that moment?
Sometimes I get you, and I'm on your side. But, sometimes you don't want to be too quick to judge, because you don't know what that adult is dealing with.
In church, at that moment,
it could be that
you're at the solution ground as far as I'm concerned.
What if your wife is in labor? I give those kinds of excuses. But if it's not a matter of life and death, I think you should just give God His due attention. Okay, now you get over WhatsApp, and you're actually in His presence.
Yeah.
And then you're bored, man.
The boredom thing.
The word is not entering, like you're not feeling the goosebumps, nothing is happening. How do you deal with that one?
But I think the truth is, sometimes we're expecting this halo experience when we are in God's presence. Like maybe the first time you give your life to Christ, I'm new today, everything is flowing, everything is just working. And when the real issues of life come and you're having to deal with you know, all the distractions, all the realities of life, the thorns are just everywhere. And it looks like, it's like, am I backsliding or something?
You know, I think the error with that is when you think that God's being with you is dependent on a feeling. I mean, it's great if you actually feel that warmth and all of that, but we are not moved by how we feel. It's sufficient to know that God loves me and God is here.
Yeah.
You know, funny thing is, if you go to the Garden of the story in Genesis about the Garden of Eden and everything, you find that God always came to them in the cool of the day. He knew he had an appointment with them, and that was why when he came and they were in there, and he was like, I was looking for you, and you were in there. You know, where were you? It's because he knew that I have an appointment with these people at this time. So it's the same thing. So if you know that by such and such time I'm meeting with God, he'll be there. It has nothing to do with how you feel. Well, now, feeling can have its place maybe when you know how it is when the presence has lifted because you did something wrong, maybe because of sin or one thing or the other.
It's like you're just alone at that moment.
But then again, if he's your father, you run into his presence and you make peace, and then you just don't keep it for too long.
That was difficult for me at different some stages in my life where, and sometimes it happens because I realized that whenever we go off course, we kind of withdraw.
Yeah.
Instead of going, just like you said.
So bad. How can I make it right?
Why would that pure God want to see me at that moment? Rather, I should run away, just like they had to, like, let me run away.
That's such a mistake because the enemy can take advantage of that. I think the first thing anybody wants to do when you miss it is run into his presence. It's just like a baby. The baby soils himself or herself, and the baby is feeling uncomfortable. And you know, when the baby raises up, and mommy takes the baby up and cleans him or her up. So it's that same way with God. We should just be eager to go into his presence. Everything will be all right when you get into his presence.
And I think it comes with time. Cultivating a relationship with God is not that one fix. It's not just, it doesn't happen overnight. I think it's that time, that experience in his presence. Those
need to
weeks,
give it time.
Yes, those weeks, those months, those years. You know,
sometimes when we talk about this cultivating a relationship with God, we always look at it from this space. But the thing is, when I want to get to know my friend a little better,
like you.
Yeah, I spend time with you, right?
We should spend more time.
We should. So daily, God wants us to know he's always there in our troubled times, our mistakes, our celebrations, through it all. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this time out.
The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. Enjoy every moment. It does good like medicine. Truly, I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven.
Does it ever get boring being a Christian? Maybe it's time to spice up your walk with God. Well, we have prepared some useful tips for you. Take a look.
Have you ever caught yourself asking questions like, do I really know God? How do I know He's there? Does it ever get boring being a Christian? Should I have a routine in my walk with God? Here are 6 easy things that can make your walk with God a lot more fun. Listen to worship songs while you drive, work, cook, or sleep. Read a chapter of the Bible a day. Have a talk time with God in your day. Put a reminder on your phone if you must. Pray for the needs of others. Say something nice to a stranger. Show them they're valued in Christ. Allow the love of God in you to be expressed daily to your spouse, children, and everyone else. it can be so simple and so much fun to be with God every day.
You know the one I liked the best? I liked the one where it talked about talking to God daily. I know it sounds like one like spiritual thing and all of that, but really, I read a book once about learning His presence, and that means like cultivating a relationship with Him. So really, it's not to spook anyone up, but just being in His presence and being conscious that if I speak, He will hear.
He will hear.
We can talk. He's my friend. He's always with me. Yeah,
True.
so that works for me.
And for me, I like the part that said, I can connect by praying for other people.
Yeah, that helps.
By praying for other people. Now, not me taking my need. Okay, God, me. But when I find that it works for me, when I keep my own problems and troubles by the side, and I lift up someone in prayer, or I just say, Father, I'm just saying a prayer for John, for his daughter, for whatever it is, I kind of feel that mine is already taken care of.
Yeah.
At that moment, it's like everything just calms down because I know He will.
You know that's a huge depth of understanding because human beings are essentially selfish.
Yeah.
You want to pray for you.
It's not easy.
You know, sometimes in church when they're leading prayers and they say pray for Nigeria, and we're like pray. They say pray for yourself. So you're just essentially selfish. But it's great when you pray for others. Your business is actually being taken care of.
True.
Yes.
And I think sometimes, for example, like the other one said, say hello to strangers and all of that. I'm like, okay, when I'm having so much in my mind, when will I be able to say hello? So sometimes people are saying hello and you're not even there in the moment.
And it doesn't really cost anything. A hello, a smile, what does it really cost? And that could just be all the difference that it will make in the next person.
True.
Sometimes people are dealing with all sorts of things. People are dealing with maybe low self-esteem, and then when someone just says hello to them with a big smile, it's like,
that just
oh my God,
made their
I'm worthy.
day.
Oh my God,
that might just be
makes
what
all the
they
difference
needed for that moment.
Yes.
And I think for me now, I believe that as a mother, it can be very challenging.
Oh my goodness.
You're trying to pray and you just hear one ball hits your head, bam, and you're like, oh my, can't someone just have
that
one
minute? Is ball. You are praying, you are on your knees, you expect everybody to understand that when you are praying,
God has to help us.
Mommy, can I have carrots? Mommy, can I have carrots? And I have this son who just goes on and on and on. Can I have carrots?
What is it?
You just
can't just
leave me. God, excuse me. Look, when you see me on my knees, if you're not joining me, then leave here.
So that I can focus.
Sorry, Lord. Then continue.
Oh my God. That is motherhood.
I'm telling you,
motherhood.
It's part of it, part of the fun. So while we are talking about distractions, wouldn't it be great to cut down on cooking time so you can have more time for other things?
Yeah, besides, we've been all spiritual today,
yes,
talking about feeding the spirit man. Now it's time to also feed the stomach. Well, coming up next, Gina shows us how to eat our cake or soup and have it.
Hello everyone, welcome to Living the Life, and today I am making catfish pepper soup. To make catfish pepper soup, you of course need the catfish, and the fish is in here. I have salt, pepper soup spice, I have onions, the neighbor, the store-bought, and my pepper. I have both fresh pepper and dry pepper here now. You choose your hotness. And this is grated ginger. It's quite easy. So I'll just get straight to it. I will cut my onions into chunks. And into the blender. And don't forget, you must always have clean hands and clean ingredients before you cook. I've got my pepper into the blender. I'll add like 2 tablespoons of ginger. And to help the blender, some water. I'll pour my blended ingredients, the pepper, onion, and ginger into the fish. I'll add a little above 1 tablespoon of salt, 2 seasoning cubes, and about a 1/4 tablespoon of the pepper soup spice. Like a 1/4 tablespoon is just fine. If you do more than that, when it's too much, you actually get a bitter taste from the pepper soup. And our pepper soup is boiling, looking really, really good. Yeah, and all I need to do now is stir and taste. I really like this part. Nice. So at this point, you can afford to adjust your seasoning. If you want more pepper, you can add a little more. If you want more spice, a little more will be fine. And if you want more salt, of course, a little more. That's why it's called adjusting. So I'll just stir this now. And my mint leaf, you know, the mint leaf is actually very, very tiny. And if I decide to start slicing, it might bleed a lot. So you can just use your fingers and cut them roughly. Send them into the pot to give it this green and a very lovely mintiness. Okay, in just 1 minute or a little less than 1 minute, we're done. Yeah, I got my serving plate already, and that's to let you know that this is ready. Yeah, just a minute or two after you put in your mint leaves, it should be ready. And I'm going to scoop myself a large chunk of fish. This is so beautiful and it smells nice. Did I forget to tell you that fish is a very good source of protein? Yes, so when you're eating fish, be sure you're packing up some very good mineral like protein. And pepper soup is very good for a cold, rainy day. And you can enjoy with your friends and family. And I'm just going to have a taste of this. I shouldn't say much. This is, you should try us. Until we meet again, keep living the life. And this is my fish pepper soup. Try it.
I'm actually salivating.
Ooh, catfish, as simple as that.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of where I am from.
Yeah.
I'm from the Niger Delta, the waterside people. So that's like delicacy, fish pepper soup. Ooh. In fact, we have, you know, as I watched her, I was just thinking of my grandmother, and she would be like, ginger and pepper soup. You know, she's a very traditional Shekiri woman. I like it. And she'd be like, in Shekiri, we don't do things like that. You're trying to make her understand that we are not the only people that make pepper soup. And other people have their own ways of doing these things. So yes. Ooh. The catfish is the winner there.
Okay, that means you should invite me one of these days.
Yeah, we have a lot of pepper soup-based food where I'm from. Okay. We have what you call gbagbo giri. We have what you call gbagbo fufu.
Oh my God.
Plus all the other gbagba things inside.
Oh my God,
I like gbagba is like the native name in Shekiri for pepper soup.
Okay, so we could, I think the one from my own side, my husband's side, you could add yam or something into it. Yeah. So you have yam, palm oil, and then the catfish.
We call it epuru. But then urobos, I think, call it ukodo. So, but it's the same meal. Yes.
Okay. And I like the fact that she says, okay, it's good for a rainy day. Just calm down, relax. And I like one of the things that stood out from this recipe is it wasn't just like a recipe. Remember, it says you have to cut some time. If you want to have some, that means we have to find ways of making our food, like cooking, the cooking process, you know, find a way to make it shorter. So if you know you're not spending time doing all
you can.
Just something as simple as
just
pepper
make
soup.
Everything.
What are the ingredients? What other things?
If you want me to, I will start calling all the Shekiri things.
That's simple, not necessarily Shekiri. That would make me find time and say, okay, today everyone there's dinner. Dinner is served, and it's just something as simple as pancake and chapman or something simple.
It depends on the kind of house that you are. There are some people that will tell you pancake for dinner. What is that? Is that the dessert? Is that the starter?
Okay, tell me any simple recipe that can help you cut time.
Now here we come from.
Soup takes time. I'm saying
it depends. But if my mother cooks soup for you, you will not believe that it takes time.
Really?
She will say emergency soup.
I know those kinds of
And before you know it, the soup is ready.
Wow.
So
but I think it works for them.
Yes.
It works for them. Sometimes even they don't put any ingredient in it, like maybe just onions and Maggi cubes. It just works for them. And but for us these days, we have to be trained properly before we try that emergency. If not, it will be a disaster.
It's the same thing. It's just seasoned hands, I guess. You know, they've been doing it on and on and on. And I guess we've gotten busier and busier. So what would have seemed a quick thing to do just looks like it's, oh my God, it's taking a lot of time and all of that. But it's really same old, same old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Gina always has something. I mean, she's always bringing recipes for us. So we try to get her as much as possible to bring in the recipes and help us, you know, simplify our lives, basically. Even though I hear these days people have this professional cooks that cook for working women. Like, I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Like, they cook soup, so in
That's
liters,
a career all by itself for some people.
Yes, you know, and it works for some people.
Don't mind, yes.
I tried one, and I was telling my husband, maybe we should get. He said, for what?
African man.
You know,
So
but it saves
my food.
time. It saves, you know, just buy the soup, then you make your, if it's pando yam, you just make it one side, and just, he says, like, it's another woman's food. But he eats in the restaurant. Don't they eat outside?
But that's another
And
concept
you pay money
entirely. That's different. They need to shape their minds to really understand it that way.
Yeah, but I think if women find that time, that, you know, cut down on cooking time, not laziness, cut down cooking time, because sometimes I find myself cooking. Some people even want fresh food. Some men want fresh food. It has to be cooked every day.
The soup has to be fresh.
And you have to go to work. Maybe when you're a housewife, then you know that I'm in for the cooking. I cook morning, evening.
You just really need to love to cook. I think that's the first thing. You really need to love to cook.
Loving it.
When you love to cook, anytime.
Very true,
So,
very true.
Here's a truth to remember in Romans 8, verse 38. Nothing can separate you from God's love.
That's right. Nothing can ever take us away from God's love. Keep that locked in your heart and keep believing. Until next time, bye.
Goodbye.